watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surabhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 30th of November. India says expects significant scaling up of Saudi investments. Pakistan needs to deliver outcomes, build trust, says US State Department. And mass grave unearthed in Sri Lankan city, over 230 skeletons found. And now for all the details. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday and discussed plans to scale up Saudi investments in India's technology, farming and energy sectors in the next 2-3 years. The Indian leader is in Argentina to attend the G20, with trade, migration and protectionism to be the hot topic at the summit.
Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday and told him about the plans to scale up investments in India's technology, farming and energy sectors in the next 2-3 years. The two leaders, who are in Argentina for the G20 summit, met in the prince's residence in Buenos Aires and also discussed Saudi Arabia's readiness to supply India oil and petroleum products.
The two leaders have agreed that we will now set up a mechanism at leadership level which will go into the possibilities of concrete action in terms of investment, in terms of technology, in terms of manufacturing across various sectors, from energy to food security to infrastructure and to defense.
Modi also met with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, during which the two leaders discussed India's role in the next year's climate summit in Poland. The Indian Prime Minister also attended a yoga session in Buenos Aires on Thursday, talking about the ancient practice and peace it brings as a gift from India to the world. Modi is in Argentina's capital for the G20, with trade, migration and protectionism to be hot topics at the summit. The two-day G20 Leaders Summit will wrap on Saturday.
Deputy spokesperson of the US State Department, Robert Palladino, on Thursday said that Pakistan needs to build confidence in bilateral relations with the United States. He made the remarks while responding to a question regarding the US President Donald Trump's accusations of Pakistan harboring terrorists.
Deputy spokesperson of the US State Department, Robert Palladino, on Thursday stressed the need for Pakistan to build confidence in bilateral relations with the United States. Responding to a question regarding US President Donald Trump's frequent accusations of Pakistan harboring terrorists, Palladino emphasized the need for Pakistan to deliver outcome and build trust. He also said that normalization of relations between Pakistan and its neighbor India is also vital to both the countries and the region.
The Secretary has emphasized the need for Pakistan to deliver outcomes and build confidence and trust between our two countries, and our policy towards Pakistan is clear.
Relations between uneasy allies United States and Pakistan have frayed since US President Donald Trump slashed military assistance to Pakistan in January this year. The US accused Pakistan of sheltering militants who stage attacks in Afghanistan. Pakistan denies doing so and has maintained it has sacrificed a lot in the war against terrorism.
In news from Afghanistan, soon after a meeting between Afghan officials and international community ended in Geneva, some legal and economic experts are criticizing the government in Afghanistan. The critics claim the prospects for the government leaders to deliver on the promises is very weak.
A day after the UN meeting on Afghanistan, some legal and economic experts have said they are skeptical over the implementation of the commitments made by the Afghan government at the Geneva conference. At the summit, the Afghan leaders announced that Afghanistan will be in no need of international aid within the next 5 years through its self-reliant strategy, but analysts argue that the promises made in Geneva are similar to the commitments by government over the past 4 years. They said the prospect for the government leaders to deliver on the promises is very weak.
اگر بنیادی ما تغییر نبریم و ما فرضاً با زیربنا و با امنیت و با خود فساد که در افغانستان وجود دارد در رابطه با سکتور خصوصی از بین نبریم این ناممکن است.
مهمترین اصل در حکومتداری افغانستان متاسفانه نبود قوانین نیست، بلکه تطبیق و اجرای قوانین است که متاسفانه نهادهای تنفیذ قانون صلابت واقعی در زمینه تطبیق قوانین متاسفانه ندارد.
Meanwhile, the Office of the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan has reaffirmed that the international community will continue its support to Afghanistan even if the Taliban joins the peace process. President Ashraf Ghani's National Security Advisor Hamdullah Mohib said the government has put its step forward and now it is the time for the Taliban to come forward and play a constructive role in the Afghan society.
More on news from Afghanistan. Independent Human Rights Commission of Afghanistan on Thursday called on the Afghan government and foreign forces to cooperate in using the most effective methods during clashes to make sure that civilian casualties are prevented. Civilian casualties in the country have increased over the past 2 weeks following a number of airstrikes and night raids in many provinces.
Expressing deep regret on civilian casualties in conflicts, the Independent Human Rights Commission of Afghanistan, or AIHRC, on Thursday called on both the government and foreign forces to cooperate in using the most effective methods during clashes to prevent the casualties. Civilian casualties have increased in Afghanistan over the past 2 weeks, following a number of airstrikes and night raids against insurgents in several provinces. The most recent incident was on Tuesday, in which at least 30 civilians were reportedly killed as a result of a joint airstrike by Afghan and foreign forces in Helmand.
هرچند سهم نیروهای مخالف دولت افغانستان طالبان در با وجود آوردن تلفات ملکی 53% بوده، داعش 19% بوده و نقش دولت افغانستان 8.3% بوده، اما با آن هم این نگران کننده.
In reference to the airstrike in Helmand, officials from the Ministry of Defense have said that in most cases insurgents use civilian population as a shield. Based on the AIHRC statistics, 5,985 civilians have been killed and wounded in armed conflicts between varying sides over the past 6 months, with women and children also among the victims.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka, over 230 sets of skeletal remains were discovered in Sri Lanka's Mannar city as the excavation at a mass grave resumed on Wednesday. The skeletons were first discovered in March this year while demolishing a government-owned supermarket.
As the excavation at the mass grave in Sri Lankan city of Mannar resumed on Wednesday, over 230 sets of skeletal remains have been discovered. The skeletons were first discovered on March 26 this year while demolishing a government-owned supermarket in the Emil Nagar area in Mannar. The remains were being unearthed in 2 phases and the 3rd phase has just begun.
Now almost 234 skeletons were founded. During the wartime, a lot of people were missing. So we have mere suspicion this could be our missing person.
The Judicial Medical Officer in charge of the excavation, Samindra Rajapaksa, said 229 of the unearthed skeletons have been removed and stored at the Mannar Magistrates Court Complex. Experts have speculated that the remains could belong to the government troops and Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam during the conflict which ended in 2009.
A week-long National Tribal Crafts Fair concluded on Friday in Bhubaneswar city of India's eastern Odisha province. At least 200 tribal artists presented their handicraft, handlooms and art forms in the fair.
A week-long national tribal crafts fair that concluded on Friday in India's eastern Bhubaneswar city attracted scores of visitors and art lovers from across the country. At least 200 tribal artisans hailing from 14 different provinces displayed their handicraft items, handloom products, bamboo products, pottery, lacquer craft, tribal jewellery, terracotta items, embroidery and tribal paintings in the fair.
Waste paper, our waste powder, और जो पेपर का अंदर था ना जो बाम्बू ग्रास ये था, ये भी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग, ये भी एक स्ट्रॉन्ग चीज़ होता है. ये सब मिलके तो एक पल्प बना के वो बनाता है.
ये जो हमारा क्राफ्ट है, ये जो पेंटिंग है, ये उरांव है और इसमें हम अपनी जो परंपरा है उसको हम दिखाते हैं. और जो भी हमारा पेंटिंग्स है उसमें सब जितने भी हमारे कल्चर में होता है वो सब हम इसी में दिखाते हैं.
The artists also performed the tribal dances which were highly appreciated by the visitors. The annual Tribal Crafts Fair provides a unique platform to the different tribes of India to display their art forms and earn a living by selling the products in the urban market.
A youth in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province has started a business venture to promote organic products from Kashmir, including saffron, honey, clarified butter, almonds and herbs in the national and international market.
A youth from Pulwama district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province has taken up the business of organic products to promote Kashmiri herbs in the national and international market. Umesh Kadri, who started Organic Kashmir in 2011 in Srinagar city, has been supplying Kashmiri products including saffron, honey, chili, ghee or clarified butter, almonds and herbs to Canada, Vietnam, Thailand and Singapore. The workers of the Organic Kashmir directly collect the products from the farms in Tral, Kupwara, Uri, Bandipora areas in the province and then pack them in the glass jars.
It took me around 2 years to understand the business of organic and about Kashmir, like how things go in Kashmir as per the forest region, products, herbs and everything. And it took me around 2 years to understand the complete market about the herbs and products which we can generate from nature in Kashmir, like from forest and everything.
Bungund village in Pulwama district has the distinction of being the first organic model village in the Jammu and Kashmir province for producing vegetables without chemicals and pesticides. The farmers in the village rely on crop rotation, crop residues, animal manures, off-farm organic waste and biological system of nutrient mobilization for producing organic crops.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. India says expects significant scaling up of Saudi investments. Pakistan needs to deliver outcomes, build trust, says US State Department. And mass grave unearthed in Sri Lankan city, over 230 skeletons found. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend and good night.